she misses these point blank ones and she goes and chases them down and gets, a couple extra tries and then gets a putback. I feel like that's a scouting report thing. Like if you're the other team, I feel like that's a pretty easy fix to take that away from her. And I don't know, maybe I need to watch more and like pay attention more to how it's happening. But I feel like the way she's getting her numbers and her rebounds and her putbacks and her points, all those types of things, and setting records in her own right as a rookie, I feel like her game is very scoutable. And
Yes.
how it hasn't been figured out before her injury to not completely eliminate things like that, but to minimize it way more. I just feel like it happens over and over and over and over again. And then it's like, oh no, what do we do? Like, let's figure out a scouting report to get this girl off the offensive glass. I don't know. Maybe that's the coach in me. Maybe she is that
Yeah,
good at offensive rebounding. I don't know.
dude, I think bro, if you just watch, she's just in the right spot. Like her misses
Yeah.
are perfect. Like that's the thing. I said it. It's a huck and chuck and pray. Like let me huck that thing up there and
Mm-hmm.
pray to God it either goes in or it's gonna land right back in my hands. Dude,
Mm-hmm.
I had a tweet about her, but like that's my thing. Like, is there is when Dennis Rodman was in the NBA, we weren't comparing him to Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't comparing a guy whose specialty was literally just to get rebounds to someone who did everything. Until Angel Reese is the type of player where you put the ball in her hands with 30 seconds to go, then let's have this conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
she's not nowhere near that player. So like,
Yeah.
will she? Maybe. Who knows? I'm not saying she's not. Do I think so? It's a low maybe. I mean, I think she
Yeah.
has a low ceiling. Truthfully, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah, keep going. My fault.
just real quick, like just to end it, like I'll be one to admit, like I was really not like sold on Caitlin Clark when she came to the league. I was like, she's gonna have to earn it. Maybe I thought she was gonna struggle the whole season. I never would have. I didn't think she was gonna do this like right away. I think the
Mm-hmm.
Olympic break was the most perfect thing for her to sit down, watch film, see the first half, study. Not making the Olympic team was the greatest thing for her as a player and for her
Mm-hmm.
development.
And as a
So,
rookie, I think too, like just so she
mm-hmm,
can be like, yep, I'm gonna use this time to get better.
mm-hmm. Where's
Two,
this
I
at?
had two
Oh,
points I wanted to make here real quick before you go. Don't lose your thought. I'm gonna
go
try and
ahead.
keep
No,
these. I'm gonna,
I found those tweets. I found them, so we're good.
yeah, I'm gonna
Thanks for the tweets,
try and
Sage.
keep my my thoughts in order here. But two things. Obviously, like we see players develop throughout their career, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many examples of players that came into the league and started as one thing as a rookie or kind of a first 2 or 3 year player, and then they develop into, um, the number one option. Maybe like a Devin Booker comes to mind, where he wasn't this stone cold killer the second he turned in or came into the league, but you saw
No.
the development, and now he is what he is. Um, but to your point about like the Dennis Rodmans of the world and your great rebounders that kind of aren't number one options, but they kind of manufacture their points off their own misses and stuff like that, or their team's misses. I When you're not a number one option and you're not getting those game reps as a number one option, even if you're failing as a rookie and you're on a terrible team or whatever it might be, when you're not in that position, it's really hard, I feel like, for that to translate from year to year if you don't start to develop those parts of your game in the off season. And I don't know if like you said, the ceiling for Angel Reese is quite as high as Caitlin Clark. Not that Angel Reese can't be a good WNBA player for a long time. I don't see her ceiling being as high because Caitlin Clark is getting all of the best defensive coverages, all of the best defenders on her, all of these junk coverages, whatever it is, and she's getting put in those positions where it's crunch time, we need a bucket, we need you to make a play for us. And I think not necessarily, maybe not next year, but later on, like a couple years into her career, I feel like that's really where you're going to start to see MVP type conversations coming in for Caitlin Clark, is because she's been there already. And I just don't think Angel Reese is going to see that as early in her career.
What's wild is she's kind of low key in the MVP conversation this year, but
I know. That's what's wild, dude.
A'ja Wilson is so far ahead of everyone. Like, she broke the single season record in scoring and rebounding this year.
I know. I got to look up her stats right now because.
But what I was gonna say is when these two had that matchup, like everyone was talking about the last matchup, Chicago and Indiana, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, dude. Because I remember I was like, I tweeted rookie of the year matchup. Player 1, 31 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, 8 of 14 from the field and 5 of 9 from 3, was subbed out with 3 minutes left. Player 2, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 9 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, and played garbage minutes to get her double-double. I'm like, who won that matchup? Because people were really like, oh, Angel Reese got her double-double. And it's like, okay, cool. She got the double-double, but she entered the fourth, because I'm looking at my tweets. I remember I had this noted. She entered the fourth of that game with 5 points and 7 boards while down 20 and played garbage minutes to get the 10 and 11. Like, she scored those points and got those rebounds in the like last 3 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, as a true basketball player, like as a true person, like a true like fan of the game, not like a casual who supports someone for just like who they are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear as day what that is. That's hunting for stats. That's
Mm-hmm.
disrespecting the game blatantly. I mean, people killed Russell Westbrook when he averaged his triple-double for the 2 years in a row that he did, because everyone was like, well, people are just boxing out for him and he's just going and getting the rebound. Like, there's no like, you know what I mean? Like, to me,
Mm-hmm.
that's you're stat padding, you're stat hunting. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that argument could go around all the time, but when you're doing it completely and being force fed in the last 2 minutes of the game, when the other team's second and third stringers are in the game, like, come on.
Yeah. No, I agree. I remember you actually tweeting that, but I agree. It's I think
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go on your point, and I got a question for you.
Oh, I think especially the jump from year 1 to year 2, if I had to predict right now with both of these rookies, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, my guess would be the jump for Caitlin Clark is going to be much more significant. Maybe not numbers wise, but because she's already putting up great numbers. I think her numbers are going to improve, but I think the effectiveness and, for one, just the overall scheming against that player is going to be much more significant with Caitlin Clark, because teams for a full year have now seen, okay, that team can be competitive with her as the number 1 option. And I don't know what the playoff picture's looking like right now, but last I checked, they were sniffing
Indiana's
the
a
playoff
6th
picture
seed.
there.
And
Oh, so they
Chicago's
are in the
eliminated.
playoffs.
So Chicago's
so
eliminated. Indiana's clinched.
Which, before I finish that point, you remember all those people that were talking about when Indiana was bad at the start of the year and Chicago was kind of good?
Mm-hmm.
What was everybody saying? My rookie of the year is going to be the one that makes the playoffs, and that was convenient for him
Bro,
when Angel Reese was in the playoff picture. But now Now who's in the playoff picture and who's
Oh my
putting up better
god.
numbers? That's what's
That's my
wild to me.
dad's favorite talking point. Like he's a big Caitlin Clark person, and that's his favorite
Yeah,
point right there. He's like, "Oh yeah, where's Monica McNutt and all these ESPN analysts who said, oh, I'm going to judge the Rookie of the Year off of who makes it to the playoffs and whose team is better." But those people have been pretty damn quiet
exactly.
for the last 2 months, and it's like the reason to sidetrack here, the reason why people hate but respect Stephen A and hate but respect Skip Bayless and these dudes that you see on TV for years is because they'll stick to a hot take and stick with it. They're not going to shy
Yeah.
away when they're wrong. They're going to own it. Damn, I was wrong. They had a better season. Like how
Yeah.
many times do you see Stephen A own like, yeah, I was wrong there later on
Mm-hmm.
down the road? And I mean, that's why I don't know. That's why that whole argument was frustrating. But here's my thing. Like here's where how I just thought of it too, because I was reading a question I had on Twitter, and it's like, would you at this point in their careers in their rookie season, both comparatively, would you compare Angel Reese to like Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or some of those really great 4-5 position women in the league? No, absolutely not. You would not
No,
compare
because
Candace Parker.
for one, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Candace Parker win the MVP her rookie season?
That was Maya Moore,
I
I'm pretty sure.
feel
I
like I
mean,
remember. No, I do, dude. I think it was Candace Parker. Hold
let's
on, I'm
see.
about to look this up.
But like, you know what I mean? But then on the other
She did, bro.
spectrum,
She did.
yeah, see,
Won
like you
Rookie
would
of the
not
Year
compare.
and MVP.
That's the same position. People that like are new, that may be new to the game because Angel Reese was a great TikTok star, but like you would not compare her to that ever. And that is
No,
my favorite women's basketball player of all time. Candace Parker is
me too, bro.
the
Absolutely.
GOAT. First time I
Maya
saw her
Moore is my
dunk at
second.
Tennessee, Maya Moore's, in my opinion, Candace Parker's my favorite. Maya Moore's the greatest, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Agreed.
her accolades in such a short time are nuts. But like on the other hand, with Caitlin Clark, you would sit there and flirt the conversation of, hey, well, shoot, in her rookie season, she is setting numbers historically, career numbers. Like you wouldn't necessarily compare her to Maya Moore or like a Diana Taurasi, a Sue Bird, but you definitely would throw her in that conversation of, hey, like she's right there. That's the thing about the whole deal to me is like when you throw the two's comparisons, like you're comparing one to superstars, and and the other one really can't. The only thing she could compare that to was, I remember the stat, she had 20 rebound, 3 rebound games in a row or whatever, and they compared her to Ben Wallace, and I'm like, that's great, congrats, but that's like apples to oranges in my opinion.
But I think honestly, in my opinion, that's a okay comparison because yeah, Ben Wallace is maybe an all-time great center that I think people would some consider an all-time great center in the NBA. But Ben Wallace was never the number one option on those Pistons teams. He was never the go-to guy to get a bucket on those Pistons teams. So I think that's fair and to compare him to compare those two because ultimately their play style was the same. Angel Reese is a rebounder, solid defender, and then she puts the ball in the hole when she gets when she gets offensive boards. That was Ben Wallace.
Well, yeah,
But
because
Ben
she gets
Wallace
so
ain't
many
Ben Wallace ain't an
opportunities.
all-time great. He ain't an
No,
all-time great like top 75 player.
no, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Defender, we'll talk. Defender,
For
we'll
sure.
talk.
Yeah, he was an all-time great defender, I would say. Yeah.
Overall, yeah, no, I agree. I was saying this watching her play. The things that, like, straight up, if you watch Caitlin Clark play, the things that she does on the court, very similar to watching Steph Curry.
It is, dude.
What
It
she's
is.
doing for women's basketball is very similar to what Steph Curry did for basketball in this like generation. For these generation of kids that are coming up right now, like this is the kids growing up watching Steph Curry as little kids. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
2014 finals and all that stuff. So like that trend is gonna blow up soon, like
Yeah.
quick. It already has, obviously, but
Well, and I
especially with
think
like
once Juju Watkins gets to the
that exactly that's what I was
WNBA,
just gonna
like
say.
that's
Paige Beckers.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did I say her name right? I always screw that
Paige
up.
Beckers, yeah. Paige Beckers.
She's tough, dude. She's so tough too.
She is, man.
I hope they win the
Um,
Natty.
UConn's had a little drought, man. They're gonna have to get
I need
past
Gino
South
back on
Carolina,
top.
but Gino needs to rejuvenate his
Gino
title
gonna retire
well.
on top. I guarantee it. If he wins one more,
You're gonna win another
he'll
one and then
call
be
it.
done.
I
Yeah,
bet you that's his goal. Was
maybe.
go look at the map of Stores, Connecticut, and tell me what there's to do out there other than coach basketball.
Nothing, dude. Nothing.
Um,
I want to bring up this. We were talking about it before we started recording of the comparison that I brought up about here. I want to pull it up so I don't get it wrong. Caitlin Clark's rookie numbers to Cheryl Swoops' MVP season numbers. I want to try and find this graphic so I can give some actual numbers here. But basically, I think it's two things. I think it's one, Cheryl Swoops is hating, for one.
bitter,
I
old
think
and bitter.
two, I think also part of it, which has also happened in the NBA, is you don't necessarily see, like Michael Jordan averaging 37 or whatever it was in that one season. You don't necessarily see that stuff, but you see a lot more of of 20 plus guys or 30 plus guys in the NBA averaging 25 a game. I think part of that, as far as Caitlin Clark's numbers go, is how the game is changing. But it's also, to your
Mm-hmm.
point, how she's changing the game and she's bringing an element of, especially long range shooting, that hasn't been seen before like this
Yeah,
in the WNBA.
because if you sit and watch like that's why I watched. We ordered my dad a Caitlin Clark shirt because it has a funny ass joke.
Nice.
And but like we watch all the games, or they watch all the games. I'll come downstairs too. I don't watch all of them, but like if you kind of
Yeah.
watch the style of play, it's not. It's mid 2000s style It's pre Steph Curry basketball. Pre
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry, post Michael. I'd say like post MJ, that Kobe era, that prime Kobe
Yeah.
era. That's what it feels like still. Like it's not like she's now gonna bring in that next step, like that next type of
dimension
breed
of the
of
game, man.
the
Like
next
like you
breed of
said.
basketball players.
Well, and it goes back to what you said about Steph Curry changing the game. You didn't see NBA players taking the types of shots and the timing of the shots that he did before he started doing it.
No.
You don't see it in the WNBA, but now that Steph Curry's been around and he, like you said, kids have grown up on Steph Curry being the guy, you're starting to see more players, even at the high school level and at the college and NBA level, that are shooting with that type of range and doing those types of things, that I feel like you're going to just see the exact same thing in the women's game.
100%. I'll be honest, like part of the reason I don't think I dive into it a whole lot is because there's so much bitterness within that league. Like there's so much
It's wild, dude.
drama and hate and And it's crazy. Like, she's bringing in numbers. Like, this is the most popular, most attention the WNBA has ever gotten, ever. So it's like the saltiness can go away a little bit. Like, personally, I didn't have a problem with what Diana Taurasi said at the beginning of the year about how she's going to have to earn it. Maybe her tone came off as condescending, but like, to me, I didn't have a problem with those comments because, yeah, every rookie that comes into any league is going to have it harder. They have that little bit more of a target on their back. But it's the comments like from Cheryl Swoops. It's the obvious neglect, neglect of even mentioning her name. Like,
just lack of acknowledgement. Yeah, just lack of acknowledgement of what she's doing. That it's historic. That's crazy.
It just makes me not want to watch it because it's like y'all can't even like acknowledge this. Why do I want to watch it? If you're gonna openly like disregard what's in front of you, like the greatness in front of you, they say they were saying it's all her teammates and stuff like that, and I'm like, what you guys?
Let me ask you this, dude.
Like, you guys are absolutely nuts to think that it's just her teammates. She is making her teammates better.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like NBA, past generations of the NBA, for lack of a better term, hate on or the present generations like the WNBA players are?
No, you see,
I don't either.
You see them, and you like, real quick, just you see the old heads appreciate it, but they're still gonna defend themselves.
Yeah,
like, you see it with Shaq and Charles all the time on NBA TNT. They want to push the game forward, so I don't know.
I think there are examples of, maybe some past NBA greats or whatever bagging or whatever on this new era or these new, just kind of the way the game is played now in the NBA. But I don't get the sense that it's like a clear disdain for this new generation. It's just that it's different and it's maybe not the way they played or the way they would have done it. But I don't feel like that underlying almost like jealousy and disdain for this new generation of players like I do with some of these WNBA greats.
It's almost like they all sat down at the beginning of the year and everyone was like, "Hey, we're gonna make this. This is the amount of money we got coming in, so expect this number," without telling them that whoever gets Caitlin Clark is going to get a higher percentage than anyone else.
Yeah.
And so when it happened and they started seeing like, oh, hey, yada, 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 they're selling tickets, they're playing stuff, we're not. Weird. Don't be mad. It's just weird. I don't know. I think it'll maybe, hopefully in due time, it'll blow over because I don't know. I think it's just.
Well, I think it will. I think ultimately what needs to happen is just recognition from these past players and maybe even current players that the game is changing. It's, dare I say, it's probably getting better than it was before, and to just celebrate that. Like, I feel like that's what's ultimately going to grow the WNBA as a whole, is appreciating what was done in the past, for sure, honoring those greats that did it before you, but understanding that the game is evolving just like any game would as time goes on.
I agree 100%. I don't know. Did you see my tweet today?
I did not. I don't think I've been on Twitter at all today.
Don't even. I'm gonna ask you this question. You got here's the lineup. 7-game series. Okay. You got 1920 bubble Lakers, KCP, Danny Green, Bron, AD, and JaVale McGee going up against the
Okay.
09-10 Lakers, which is D Fish, Kobe, Ron Artest before he went to Meta, Pau Gasol, and Andrew Bynum. Who are you taking in that? Who are you taking in that?
So what was the lineup of the 1920 team?
So
It
you got,
was KCP, Bron,
yep, Danny Green,
Danny Green,
AD, and JaVale
AD,
McGee.
and JaVale McGee. And then you got Kobe, D Fish, Ron Artest / Meta World Peace, Pau Gasol. Ooh, man.
And this is Andrew Bynum. Like, this is like
This is like
not totally healthy Andrew Bynum, because this was the
oh,
last
really?
championship, and his knees went after that. So I mean,
Yeah,
this was his last like good run.
that's
Andrew
tough,
Bynum was
dude.
so cool.
Dude, slight tangent. Andrew Bynum was, I feel like, on the path to be in the conversation of an all-time great big before he got all
Dude,
banged
Kobe
up.
said it. Kobe loved him.
Yeah.
Kobe always was like, "Yeah, this is the guy. He's gonna be good." And then he got hurt. Knees, dude. Big man with knee problems.
Dude, that's really tough because, like, I think D Fish and KCP, they even each other out. You know, like, I don't think there's a clear better player with either of those guys. I think Derek Fisher for sure has more of the savviness to him, especially with KCP, or how KCP was on that Lakers team. He was just a 3-and-D guy, you know. Kobe and Bron, one of them's going to win the matchup on a night-to-night basis. I think they, for the most part, even each other out. Maybe one has the favor over the other one, but I feel like the big difference is that 3 spot, because I think for one, Pau Gasol and AD, that's a good matchup. I think that's a great matchup, to be honest with you.
I think that's a wonderful matchup.
You think of what?
I think that would be a great matchup to watch.
Yeah. And I'm going to give Andrew Bynum the nod over JaVale McGee for sure.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Who was the three on
Danny Green
on the Lakers?
and,
Danny Green. I'm taking Meta World Peace over, or Ron Artest, or whatever he was at the time, over Danny Green, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
That's tough. I'll probably take the 09-10 Lakers over the 1920.
So I picked that team as well. That was really tough for me to pick what team was going to win that series. But that team beat 4 50-win teams to get to a reign. They beat the 50-win OKC Thunder with Russ and KD, a young version, like right before they went on their run. Because the next year they went to the finals, and then after that they beat a 53-win Utah team. They beat a 54-win or something like that Phoenix team, and then a 53-win Boston team in the finals with Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen on the floor. What? And that team, I said, give me the 09-10 Lakers winning in 5 games. This team beat 40, 50-win teams in the playoffs. That's child's play.
Here's why I say the 3 spot changes the game for that 09-10 team for me, because when Ron Artest was with the Pacers, and then even when he went to, did he go somewhere before the Lakers after the Pacers, or did he go straight to the Lakers?
Um,
I can't
you
remember.
know,
It doesn't really matter. But at that time, Ron Artest was one of the best two-way small forwards in the game. Like, no question about it. Like, I didn't realize this.
Kings
Ron
and
Artest,
Rockets
when,
to go off your little sting there. Sorry,
oh,
Kings and
Kings
Rockets
first,
was
Kings
the in
first, Kings
between teams.
Rockets. Ron Artest, like leading up to those Laker years, like when he was with the Pacers, when Malice in the Palace happened and all that stuff, that dude was averaging 20 plus. Did you know that?
Shut up! I'm
Dude,
about to
I
go to
I
his
didn't
stats
know
right
that.
now.
I
What?
didn't know that. I think because I
Damn,
was listening.
24 and
I think,
05.
yeah, bro.
Wait, that
Bro,
was
he
he
was
played
he
7
was
games.
yeah, because
But
that was Malice in the Palace.
fuck,
But
he averaged
up
20 in
like,
Sacramento.
bro, he was a premier three man at that time. And so that's why for me, like, he completely blows Danny Green out of the water, in my opinion, both
1000%.
defensively and what he can bring at times offensively. And obviously with that
Dude,
Laker team, he wasn't asked to do much of anything offensively for obvious reasons, but he could if he needed to.
that man is one of the great top 5, top 3 on-ball defender of all time.
Oh, he was
Like,
a menace, dude. He's absolutely insane.
if you go watch when he guarded Kobe in 2009, 2008, 2009 playoffs when he was with Houston. Those two went
Hmm.
at it. They were going
Yeah, dude.
at it, and it was like, oh, I miss that type of basketball so much when dudes were like really on the chopping block, like going after each other's head.
Hmm.
Um, but
But
no, I
my
agree.
point was, is it's not like Kobe and LeBron is the matchup, because you can put Kobe on LeBron if you want him to guard LeBron, or you can put Meta on him if you want him to guard LeBron.
Bro,
And so,
I'm starting Meta on LeBron.
of course, yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But
That's
there's
funny that
I
you
think
say
just
that.
there was more versatility.
Yeah, no, that's funny that you say that because like I was thinking that this whole time, like going through when you were going through your matchups, I was sitting here thinking like when you said Kobe and LeBron, I'm like, yeah, that's a good matchup, but like, what if you put Kobe on Danny Green and he just
Yeah,
runs him off the 3-point line, and then you just let Ron Artest get nasty with LeBron? Because when Kawhi Leonard got nasty and dirty with him when he was younger, he hated that. He hates that. So
yeah,
like even in Dallas, the Dallas Mavericks did that to him when he was in Miami. Like when you put defenders on him that kind of like are just a pest for a 7-game series,
mm,
I'll like my odds with Ron Artest guarding him. Is he going to get
yeah.
25, 30? Probably, but it's going to be a damn hard 25, 30.
And then, like, you think Kobe is gonna let Danny Green go off if he's guarding him? Absolutely not. So
My
I just think the matchup
Yeah.
versatility with the 09-10 team is much better.
So I agree. Here's where it gets tricky though. I mean, if you're going off starting 5, then it's not as hard, but like okay. So the other to this Lakers team also had Dwight Howard coming off the bench. They had
Mm,
Markieff Morris, Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, old JaVale McGee,
hmm.
obviously. Quinn Cook was really, and Jared Dudley. Now, if you go to the Lakers, I can name you that team right now. They had like guys like they had Sasha Vujacic coming off the bench. They had Luke Walton coming off the bench. They had Jordan Farmar coming off the bench. This is off the top of my head. I still haven't even pulled off the roster. Um, shit, that's one of my favorite teams.
Yeah, man.
Lamar Odom. Oh my God, he's not even in the starting
Lamar
lineup.
Odom, dude.
Okay, no, Lakers in 4. Lakers in 4.
They ain't sweeping them. No way. But
I forgot
like
Lamar
the
Odom was on that
again,
team.
I'll say this. I think honestly, I'll take the bench of the 1920 team over the bench of the 0910 team. But in my opinion, the bench in an NBA series, your bench doesn't win you the series. Your dudes win you the series.
Yeah.
And so I think the bench can win you a game or two, but I think
100%.
ultimately the best 5 players are going to win you the entire series.
Because like I'm looking at this right now at this game 7 against the Celtics. Gasol 42 minutes, World Peace 46 minutes. Did he even does that even mean he came out? Kobe
48
45
minutes is
minutes, Bynum 19 minutes, D Fish 30, Lamar Odom 35, and then you got some power forward who came in and got a minute for someone. Shannon Brown got 5 minutes for someone. Farmar snuck 13 minutes in there. Vujacic snuck 5 minutes in there. That's it. Lamar Odom 35 minutes off the bench. So like, yeah, like your point, there's 6 guys playing in these games.
Yeah, and it's you can have role players win you a game or two in a series or kind of steal one for you, but I think ultimately, like that's what I love about the NBA is typically the best team wins because it's 7 games. It ain't March Madness where you get one game and hopefully that team's playing bad and you upset them. It's like, all right, you might steal a game from them, but they're the best
Better
team. They're
team
gonna
always
win. They're
wins.
gonna win 4 out of 7.
Mm-hmm. That was my question. That was my question of the day to you. Good evening, welcome to
I'm
the
gonna
people.
ask
This is
you a
episode
random.
48, by the way, everybody. We're 37 minutes deep, so episode 48. Glad you're tuning in.
I got a question for you. Do you play much 2K?
Not anymore. I hate that game.
When you did you play with the classic teams or like the all-time teams ever?
Yeah.
Who in your opinion, is not necessarily the best, but your favorite all-time team to play with?
'03,
Really think hard
04.
about this.
One of them I would love to play with was 03, 04 Sacramento Kings with like Peja,
Ooh, great
Mike
pick, dude.
Bibby, Vladi, and those guys. I liked playing with that team.
That is a fun team to play with. So that's a classic team. What's your favorite all-time team? So like the teams, my favorite, I'll give you one, or I'll
Like the
give you
team's
2 of
best
mine.
teams, like the team's best
Yeah, so
players.
like where it has the all-time. So
Okay,
my
yeah.
two teams are the all-time Orlando Magic and then the all-time Sacramento Kings. They're 2 of my favorite teams to play with.
I ain't gonna
Oscar
like. I always,
Robertson, Jim
yeah. I always
Jackson.
went with.
Oh my God.
I like the all-time Lakers because you got Magic.
Well, that of
All
course, of
those dudes.
course.
That's like a no-brainer. But like, a good
Let
one.
me preface
A
it
good
with this.
one.
Let me preface it with this. Hold on. You can't pick the Lakers or the Celtics because those are the 2 best teams easily, in my opinion, for the
Toronto.
all-time teams. What?
Toronto. Vince Carter.
Really?
Vince Carter.
That's
You
all they
didn't,
had though.
bro.
They had a
Vince
young
Carter
T-Mac.
would be
That's
fun to
it.
play with. I like teams with Michael Redd. with if I
Yeah,
could get
the
a team with
Bucks.
Michael Redd, I would love to go with that. Dude, I don't know.
The Bucks is one as well. I forgot about the Bucks. I like the Bucks
I
all-time
guess I
team too.
never did the all-time teams. I was thinking classic. I was doing a lot of I liked playing with classic teams.
My favorite one of my favorite classic teams is the team you already mentioned, that Kings team. But then another one is, I can't remember what years, but it's the Rockets with Tracy McGrady, um, Yao Ming.
Probably the same years.
Um,
Like
I think it was
05, 06.
07, 08. No, I think it was 07, 08 was that team. But
T-Mac
I
was
love
fun.
that team as well.
T-Mac was fun. My favorite, the most OC team is still the 16-17 Warriors.
Yeah, that team's unfair.
Untouchable. That's untouchable.
Yeah.
I get pissed when people play with that team. But I don't play 2K anymore. I
What's
don't
your
know. I
gripe
think
with 2K?
it's not real. It's fake as shit. And the people we played with, dude, like me and Clem, the last year I played, I had a player that was pretty good. And like whenever we go online, I was scoring. My player would score like 20 to 25 points a game. I was pretty damn good. And then like some of the people we played with just pissed me off. Like just not basketball. Like no one wants to play basketball. Everyone wants to like. That's how I got my buckets, is because I was a good basketball player. I understood basketball.
You were moving off the ball.
Yes, and it gets to the point where some dudes will just sit there and do and miss a shot. Oh damn, bro. Oh damn, my bad, dog. I lagged, dog. I meant to pass
Yeah,
that. Oh shoot,
yeah,
man. I meant to go RB that. Like, shut up. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
yeah.
Stop lying to me. And then it just got too cheesy. Like people just like got way too. I don't know. It got way too arcadey style. I'm more of a. I'm cool with COD, a little bit of GTA, and right now, honestly, college football is my games.
Yeah,
When
I imagine
NASCAR comes
college
out,
football. Oh,
next summer, find me behind a wheel.
do you have a wheel, like, or do you play with the controller?
I play with a wheel.
You do?
Yeah, makes it way
Wow,
better.
dude,
The
respect.
controller's so hard. Controller's so hard. I mean, my wheel is only like a $80 Walmart wheel. It still gets the job done though.
Dude, I just need to upgrade. That's what I'm gonna put on my Christmas list. Probably won't happen, but I need to get.
Yeah,
What do you have, a PlayStation?
yeah. That's what I went. I just
I need
went
to
and
get
did it
me a
one day. I was like,
PlayStation.
I've been talking about it. I could afford it, and I was like, man, screw it, gonna go do it. So I went and did it. They had them at Walmart. I saw them at Walmart one day, and I'm like, oh, that's like there's my chance.
Yeah,
So
I need to upgrade. I'm still on Xbox 360 from
god
2008 or
damn.
whatever it was, man, dude, it's bad.
Yeah, I retired. My Xbox One is right over here. I need to clean it out, and I'm thinking about. I'm gonna keep it for like a a streaming device for another
You're gonna
TV.
keep it?
Like yeah, I'm gonna keep it for like
Uh,
for Netflix and stuff like that.
that's fair, dude. You could sell it
Hmm.
to me if you want. I would take it. I got $20.
What is this?
Give me a dollar,
This
man.
isn't a pawn shop. Um, yeah, winners
Yeah,
tryouts
man,
on
that's all I got.
Saturday. Yeah, me too. Hey, do you like that practice
You
plan?
got you got
Was
tryouts?
that did that
I
make
did.
sense? Did that just kind of like did it flow good? Like,
Let me pull it up here.
because I found that and I'm like, dang, I kind of like this.
So you just found this template?
I found the template. Well, I found the template online, and then I went into Excel and I had to create my own. But
So on the
I don't know, I
left you
just
have who's doing what?
and then like a bit
Then you have
like a big the courts are split by the grade 5-on-5 groups over there, like stuff that wouldn't fit within the list.
hmm
But yeah, time drill
No, man, it looks
reminders.
good. The only thing, the biggest thing with tryouts, things like that, is do you know how many kids you're gonna have?
I haven't gotten the list yet.
That's always the toughest part for me with like planning camps or planning clinics and stuff like that is when you don't have a final number or a set number of participants. That's when you
hmm
got to throw, like you
hmm
might get twice the kids you were planning on, and then it's like, oh, I got to throw a wrench in this and do something completely different. That's the only thing, like for me is, and you only know the answer to this is, can you can you pivot if you need to real quick with what you got down? And it looks like you can, like it doesn't look like it's anything where you need specific numbers of kids, but that's the toughest part is like, and just running things like that is being able to once tryout starts is, oh, this one ain't gonna work, like we got to pivot and we got to do this instead, and just being able to
hmm
have an idea of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this next couple minutes to base off that because, like you said, number wise, I'm not sure. Personally, I kind of
Do you
expect a lot just because we just got a new home essentially for our
I
program.
saw that. Congrats, guys.
Um,
Congrats.
so like for those that don't know or that are in the area and are still skeptical or maybe thinking like um just that one of the players is family or dads in our program put down his funds for a facility, an old Kmart, that we're going to turn into a basketball complex slash volleyball complex for kids.
Ooh.
And it's exciting, dude, because like I'll be honest with you, going into the winter season, I was kind of like I didn't know what was going. I didn't know like the future. Didn't know like are we in limbo? Are we gonna make a move? Are we gonna do something?
Mhm.
And we did like it happened. So I was like, damn, this is awesome. But this place is gonna have four basketball courts. We're gonna start off with sport courts for the rest of the year, and by January 1st, we're gonna be installing hardwood courts. So that's huge. So people who like are questioning like the stuff that we're trying to put into our facility, like we're trying to make it up there. Like in order to be the best, you kind of have to have nice things. And so that's kind of like we plan on doing that. And I don't know, just the goal, I hope, is that like Scott's vision is just to like unite all of West River, trying to like get everyone on
Mhm.
board with one mission. And it's going to be hard because there's going to be some pushback, obviously. It's just natural. It is. So like
There always is, yeah.
you can't fault human behavior. It is what it is. Like we have to, as a staff, have to like I've been telling them now, like, are we 5-star group? Maybe not, but we have to start treating like we are. We have to start acting like we are. Start doing everything with that 5-star mentality. That way, when it happens, we don't even realize it's happened because we've been carrying this persona for a while.
Mhm.
And with that facility, it's like, hey, we got to step up now a little bit. Things got to be a little more cleaner. Things got to be a little more organized. Things got to be a little bit this, that, and the other. So I'm excited. People who have heard about us, we were part of Sacred Hoops, but now we are straight up Iron 5 basketball. That is our new name. Shout out Ted for coming up with that. That is a slick name. I like it a lot.
Mhm.
Iron sharpens iron. That's his motto.
Indeed.
So if you have a kid, second through eighth grade, who you are looking for a team, need a place to go, need a place to just go get better if you don't want to play ball yet, if you don't feel like you're comfortable enough playing games, like hit us up. We're open to that. We're open to straight development and trying to get you to the point where you're comfortable enough to go step out on the court and do, what you want to do. So that's the goal.
Where is this facility?
Rapid City. It is, oh god damn. Where is this? It is in the Dakota Market Square, 1111 East North Street in Rapid City. It's the newly remodeled Kmart building. So they're doing construction right now inside. Sport courts are in. We just got to put them down. We're not. I don't know. I want to see it on Saturday. I'm excited to just. Hopefully it's unlocked because I want to go check it out. But I'm excited, dude. We got something.
Are you doing the tryouts in this facility, or it's not quite ready yet?
Nah, it's not ready yet, and that's okay. Like, to be honest with you, I'm glad that we're not gonna force it, because that's, to me, like, there's always, there's those people that want to, like, if it's 60% done, they want to show off that 60 because they're so excited, like, oh my god, let's do it, we can do it. Like, don't. You don't have to.
Like, let's be patient. Let's be patient here.
Don't spoil it. Like,
don't do that.
Ted be sending us like videos every day. I'm like, I almost want to be like, dude, you're teasing me. Stop it. I don't want to see it. I want to see it when it's done.
Stop. Oh, that's good, man. No, I'm happy for you guys. I hope we can unite.
I got to take a step. I got to take a better step. Ted was like, Scott wants to meet with all of us coaches and stuff, which, totally understandable. And I made a joke. I was like, damn, no more texts from Bush. And Ted started laughing. I was like, I get it though. I do have to calm down. I kind of went on a little streak there last summer. Just
of what? Oh, right.
But not like I was getting teed up. I was flirting though. I was walking the tightrope.
You're walking the line.
But it's gonna be a fun winter. I got 7th grade. I think I got 7th grade again. I got some boys on the 7th grade group that are like some dogs, straight dogs. So hopefully we'll get them going. I just hope my thing is I hope the people that are throwing up the question marks and the red flags just see it through. Try it out. If it's not my thing that I learned in college coaching, and I think I've told you this too. I've related to Ted, like, sometimes it's just not a good fit for people. We may not be a good fit for someone. That is okay. That's okay. But hell, let's help them find a better fit. Man. I will help you find a better fit if that's the case. Like, no salt, no nothing. Like, I want what's best for you, and I think.
Well, what's the issue?
Nothing.
What's the issue with people that are with people that are doubting or that are questioning it?
Will it be sustainable? That's the question. Are we going to get enough? Is it going to be sustainable? Because they had something like this that wasn't sustainable, but we know why it wasn't sustainable. And people know why that one wasn't sustainable, and I'm not going to get into the details of that one, but I think our plan and our vision is more sustainable than what it is, because we are a family first. Like, everyone can come play ball. Yeah, okay, maybe we'll have an elite team. Maybe I'm in charge of the elite team. But that don't mean that if you're not on the elite team that we don't want you to come play ball. Come get better with us. You never know. Like, you play a year or two, then shoot, you might work your way up to that elite team that's in your age group. Like, hey, yo, you want to come play up? You've been putting in the work. Like, you're ready.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing too, dude. I'm I was just having this conversation the other day. It's okay for your 14-year-old not to be ready yet for the top team. It's okay. They're not there yet. It's nothing against you. It's nothing against your kid. It's nothing against anything other than the fact that if we put your son on the top team, it will not do him any good.
Mhm.
So let's he has 4 years to develop into a top team guy if that's what you really want, but he's not there yet. So let's get him there. And instead of thrusting a kid into a position that they're not ready for, but you put them in there just because you want them there, that you're going to end up mad on the back end because they're not going to play, or they're not going to play as well, or they're not going to have the success that they wanted in whatever sense of the word that means. And it's like sometimes there's no winning with those people because you give them what they want and it doesn't pan out the way they want. So now it's your problem. When in actuality, if you would have just listened to the coaches or listened to what we were trying to tell you and say, hey, the best thing for this kid would to be on the second team this summer, let's revisit this next summer, you would have been a lot better off and a lot happier probably. That's what gets me, man, is like people that don't understand that this 14-year-old is the top 14-year-old player in South Dakota or in Colorado or whatever it is. That doesn't mean that kid's going to be the number one player in Colorado in their senior year. A lot's going to
Mhm.
change. And that can be the same for your son. They might be unranked going into their freshman season, and then come around, they're going junior into senior season, and they're the number 3 player in the state. It's like, it's a process, basically, is what I'm saying. And so don't rush the
Mhm.
process because your kid's going to end up with the short end of the stick at the end of the day.
Mhm. Bro, did you just rant about
I just
14-year-olds
ran
and
it. I
parents, or
did.
did you
I
just
just
rant
ran it.
about the
I
state
did.
America's in right now? Because it sounded like it was very similar there.
I
Um,
ran it about what's on my heart. That's what I ran it about.
I agree. I agree 100%. And I think it's just the way we live. It's the world we live in these days. It's the way. It's the win now. It's the I need it now. Give me it
Yeah.
now.
Instant
It's
gratification.
not like it's
Yep.
not you. Things aren't instantly. Maybe if you throw it in the microwave and make it in 2 minutes, it's instant
Hmm.
rice in a minute. Yeah, okay. But
I need my
like
instant rice.
think of uh, think of it as like a garden. How do you get good vegetables and fruit things to grow in your garden? You take care of it. You work at it every single day. You water it every single day. Fertilize it. Do all the little things you need to do. You're not just planting it and then saying, "Oh, hey, I did this. Now it's gonna be this. Now it's gonna be a full carrot in the ground in 2 weeks or in a month, and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do nothing. It's just gonna be a carrot in the
Hmm.
ground. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna grow. Like you have to do all those things in between, and people don't understand that. They're like you just said. Everyone's just so accustomed to just saying, "Oh, hey, my son's ready. Why didn't my son play? Did you not see him not be
Well,
able to catch a ball?
thank you. Thank you.
Like, I'm
Like
sorry,
let's
but
let's
like,
just be realistic first of all. Makes no sense to me, man. Yeah, and to kind of to your point of watering your garden or your grass or whatever it is, it is a daily thing, and it baffles me how many kids and parents think, oh, getting in the gym once a week for an hour and a half, I should see exponential results by the time basketball season comes around. And I have this conversation with kids I train all the time because, I'll get asked a lot of times, like, what do I need to do to make excuse me, what do I need to do to make varsity? What do I need to do to make JV? Whatever it is that their goal is, every single time when I get asked that question, I'll say to them, how much are you getting in the gym on your own? How much are you getting in the gym outside of these training sessions that we're having? Because, yes, I get that, it might not be feasible for your family to pay for 3 workout sessions in a week. It's probably not, and that's okay. But if you get 1 workout in a week, what are you doing for the other 6 days that you're not working out with your trainer? You just chilling? You going into the gym and you shooting half quarters and shooting Steph Curry range threes? Or are you going in there and you working? That's my biggest thing is like your goals are not going to be met by getting in the gym twice a week, once a week, whatever it is. And just because you're working with the best trainer in Florida or the best trainer in Colorado does not mean that you're going to get better off of 1 workout per week. That's my second rant for the day.
Shit, I mean, not wrong.
That's how I feel, man. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I had something, but god dang, it just left. I had it. It was right there. It was a touch off that. I think that's just gone. Like,
It's all right, dude. It's all right.
that was a good rant though. Like,
It was
I think,
needed, man. I've some things have came to light for me from this past summer that have been brought to my attention that I needed to get off my chest.
oh, that's what I was gonna say. You were talking about goals or whatever. A lot of people's like I I'm not saying I don't like the question, well, what do I need to do to make varsity or what, but I don't enjoy the question. You
I don't
know the
either.
answers to that question.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Exactly.
Put the goal go to your room, get a piece of paper out, put on the top goal, make varsity. Okay. That's my goal. Steps to make varsity. 3 steps. Write down 3 things that you think are required to making varsity, whether it's waking up at 6 a.m. every day to go get in the gym and get 250 extra shots up in the morning. Is it, going after school and skipping, going to your friend's house and, hey, I got to go lift. I need to get in that gym and I need to go lift. I need to go work on my agility. And then is it after I get done with agility and stuff, I'm tired and hungry, I need to go get up some more shots, or I need to go to the rec center, play some open gym with some dudes that are old and, maybe not getting
Better
up and
than
down the
me.
court, but know how to play ball. Nothing,
Mm-hmm.
no shame in going as a 16 through 18-year-old, going getting humbled by a bunch of 40 to 50-year-old old men. Because in 2 weeks, you'll be the one humbling them. You'll learn something.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. Like, you'll learn a lot. It's that second rant. That's something Clem talks about all the time, and he's so right. Kids have forgotten the art of going to the gym and playing ball for 4 hours. Hey, where'd you go today? I was at the rec center playing. What, just playing
Mm-hmm.
basketball? Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
we were playing ball. Maybe were we goofing around for 45 minutes to an hour? Yeah, being kids. But
Probably.
like, when there was games going on, it was, oh, hey, let's go try and get in this game with all these adults, these older people, because you wanted to play. And you
Mm-hmm.
learn from it. So it's a forgotten art. And it just is. Get to the gym. Go play at the local Y with Jim and Joe. Go run around with the nasty, sweaty, gross ass dudes that when you guard them in the paint, you're like, ugh, I don't want to
Yeah,
guard you.
man. Go
But
play
like,
against some dudes that have some taco meat coming out of the top of their shirt, like that they've got some years under their belt. They'll humble you quick.
but no, it's just don't. You guys know what to do. Kids know what to do. It's seasons, and the reason why we're probably going on this rant is because season's around the corner. Like, we're halfway through
Mm-hmm.
football season. Basketball season starts the beginning, or or
Kind
football
of
ends the last
mid-November-ish.
month of last week of October here in Wyoming for teams that don't make the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs. And then you got a month before tryouts hit. So they get a little bit longer buffer period than what we used to get when we were in high school,
Hmm.
but still, like that stuff's not going around like coming around lightly. It's
Oh,
coming
it's
soon.
gonna be here in the blink of an eye. Like, and just back on what you were saying is if you're incapable of looking at your game and identifying where you need to improve, that's your problem. Yeah, you can have a trainer or coach or your parent tell you, hey, I think we need to get better at this. But then if you sit there, like this drives me nuts. I've working out with a kid for, 3, 4 sessions, so he's getting an idea of how I coach and how I train and get an idea of what he's good and not good at. And then, I'll ask, hey, do you have anything you want to work on in particular? Have you thought about anything that you really feel like you didn't understand or we didn't get down last time that you want to touch on again? And not that I want them to plan their workout, like that's my job, but I'm just asking those things honestly just to see, like, do you even think about the good and bad parts of your game when you're not on the court? Because like
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a kid, like, and I would get back from a hoop session or just playing any sport, I would literally sit there and think about, like, this is what I did good today. This is what I did bad today. This is what I need to continue to get better at. And it was just not like it just happened. I didn't do it like consciously. I would just do it. And you ask a kid nowadays, and it's like, what do you think we need to work on? I don't know. I think I need to get better at shooting. Oh, sure you do. What other parts of your game? You haven't thought of 1 second about anything else. And
What
so,
kind of
like,
shooting? Shooting off the dribble, shooting off a screen, shooting while you're
exactly.
fading away, shooting from the post, shooting from the mid range. Like, there's so much you can do there.
And there's so much more to the game than everybody wants to be a better shooter. Congratulations. You're in the same boat with everybody else that wants to be able to shoot better. There's a lot of other parts of this game and parts to your game, whoever you are out there, that are going to translate to you being on the court or off the court. So what are those things? If you don't think about those things, maybe a coach or like they don't that doesn't ever come up for them, and it's like, and they don't ever have that conversation with you, so you're sitting there wondering what I need to do
Mm-hmm.
better. But if you're thinking about
Mm-hmm.
it yourself, if you're thinking about it in your own time and wanting to understand those things yourself, you can bring that to the attention, or you can actively try and become better at it. Think
I'm
about
gonna
what you
like
do. Think about your game.
I'm gonna clip this last like 20 minutes, and it's about to be its own episode.
Yeah, we
Just
did kind of go off
dedicated
on
to
a different
you.
topic.
Dedicated to you. No, I agree. I would like. Don't, my things are this: don't overthink. Don't overthink. Um, Overthinking is the biggest like detriment to anyone's game. Uh, got a kid that's overthinking a shot like crazy right now, and it's like, yo, we do perfect makes every day, every time we work out. You shoot every day. You're putting up too many
Hmm.
makes. You know, at this point, it's not a mechanics thing. It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
not
you
that.
thing, man.
It's
It's a
it's
you
it's in
thing.
your head. And so once we can
Hmm.
once I can, we're getting there. We're slowly. Once I can get break through that, I think it's going to take off. Like, remember how Nick kind of struggled his first year, and then his senior year, it was just like,
Hmm.
holy shit. I know I can get him to that point of like, it's just a matter of this. Like, he just need to unlock that mental confidence of, dude, I've put in hours and hours and hours of work. I'm good. No other kid has
Yeah.
put in the amount of work in the state as me. I'm good. Like, that's the type of aura you need to carry. Like, to you kids that are working out with a purpose every single day, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, it's probably because you're carrying this immense amount of pressure to perform. when you don't have to. Just go out there knowing, hey, I've worked harder than the kid to right over here. I've worked harder than the kid over here. Okay, let's go hoop. That's all it is to it. Go show them. Go show them all that stuff.
Trust the work. Trust the work. No, that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, because trusting the time and the energy and the work you've put in is a huge thing. And that's, that's part of our job as coaches and as trainers. Whatever we do is to help kids get that confidence, but you can only take that so far as a coach. Like at some point it's got to be the player that says, like you just mentioned, I've put this work in, I've put these reps in, I know what I'm doing, I just have to perform it. So no, I'm glad you brought that up.
And it's this kid's senior year, so I think there's some pressure there. Like he's trying to push a little bit because it's his senior year. My biggest fear is I'm going to sit and watch these games and I'm going to just see that, and I don't want that. Because when a kid's put in the work, and it's like, man, this kid loves it so much. Like this needs, can this please just break for him? Can it please just like fall? So like that's where I'm at now, because every day we do I've gotten him contact layups. We're doing contact layups where he's finishing around the rim, and then we're going into makes. Like I'm doing the two things that he does the most after watching his film: get to the rack, shoot threes. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get to the rack. We're gonna shoot threes. We're gonna be really good at that. And it's like, I hope, man, because that's like my first. This is like one of my first like seniors, I guess, even though I've worked with him for like 2.5 years. It's just one of them things, man. I just kind of hope he has that year. All of them. I hope.
Got to trust the work, man. Trust the work.
No, but yeah. It was a good closing rant. Got a little Caitlin Clark, a little beautiful. WNBA.
Yeah, man, that was good. Switching gears to some WNBA action.
Got this. I've been thinking about starting like a next year. I want to do I might start my own little like 10-minute, 15-minute podcast every Sunday for NASCAR.
I can't help you with that one, man. I don't know a thing about NASCAR, so that one's on your own.
No one knows a thing. Only person that would know a thing is my dad. I already have the name for it, because everyone complains about NASCAR being another left turn. So there it is, another left turn.
Another left turn. That's great, dude. Get your pops on there for episode 1.
Yeah, I gotta plan this one out. This wouldn't start till February, because I wouldn't start it till next year. But ideas. Other than that, that was what, episode 48. Man.
48, baby. Almost to 50.
Almost there.
I love it.
We'll have some guests coming on soon. We have some in line. I've got some. It's just we got some.
Promise.
This is just to let everyone know, like one of our final episodes on using this platform that we use, Riverside, and then we're about to transfer to StreamYard. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Way better. No offense if Riverside monitors this, but it's way better. Not saying you guys have a bad product, but it's way better. But no, that's it.
Episode 48, people. Peace.
Peace.